Hello friends, welcome to Intronaut channel. This is the place here on YouTube where we do weekly tarot reading, and today you are all welcome to join me. So let's do the reading. So these are my cards, and this is the reading for the third week of February. And the first card that comes out of the deck points, to the energies that will support us in the beginning of the week. So the first card is a wonderful support, especially for the beginning of the week. And this card in divination say activity in undertakings. And of course, as well, it points to something that is bigger than us, in the sense that we cannot influence it. It cannot be stopped. It cannot change direction. So this energy could take us, to the path of such activities like making or keeping promises, like making and keeping agreements, committing to something, someone, maybe, because this card also say eros of love and points to something, great that cannot be avoided. But at the same time, it points, to maybe a domestic dispute for a married, committed person, And as I see it, maybe this kind of disputes will be a bit of a theme this week. And as we can see it here, that in the beginning of the week, um, some distress and some deceptions are coming to an end, for the time being, and that could bring some sort of relief and, of course, the feelings of happiness. Um, but also, in the other hand, this could also point of ending of that which is false, So, in a sense of shaking the grounds, for the weak points to break. And in the beginning, for us, this can look like that something is maybe, kicking us out of our comfort zone, but in the long term, it also brings, happiness. So, there should be an advice for today because, we could be tempted to take quick ways, speedy ways, short way, to that which promises happiness, and it could awaken a great hope and as well a great haste in us to get there, So it could be important for us to recognize this temptation and maybe research where is it coming from, instead of looking where can this take us, and let this temptation, run the show, you know. So Let's maybe open the second card and check where is this temptation taking us. And the second card is, well, it is the card that is called the Moon. And as it looks like, maybe, the influences of the new moon will start earlier. So the middle of the week could be occupied with more deception, with more distress and more hidden falseness, can catch the light of the moon. To see or to recognize the way out of this is to get less involved in things that appear as problems, and maybe rather look at what is around us, look at the things that are actually present and around us. So, so by looking around, we could find a way, to pass beyond momentary circumstances, beyond outer expectations, and of course beyond control, which will enable us to avoid more danger. Because you see, barking at the same issues in the same old way could create, greater danger, more issues, bigger issues. So the advice for this period of the week is maybe to allow this energy to make situations for us to recognize our responsibility, and uh, to take responsibility for our actions and so on, in order to move beyond present difficulties, and of course the important thing, to avoid the future difficulties. So, well, let's open the third card and maybe peek into future if a break is coming, for this period on, especially in interpersonal relations. And the third card is wonderful. Well, wonderful. Yes, exactly. Why? Well, because, it points to change of position. So it points to success in overcoming difficulties, and it points to supportive energy that could maybe come as a reward, for the work done. Because this is the card that points to renewal, and in this sense also points to reconstruction of the values that make interpersonal relations worth, having. And of course, in this, we also realize our own potential and, potential for growing and, for becoming. So I think that this is a great support, this card for this week, to give us, this needed motivation for dealing with difficulties in a proper manner. So maybe just to check the general influences of this week's energy. So, the overview of energy support is in like in the beginning, some old things will come to a conclusion, and give us proper hope and, of course, like a push forward. And the middle of the week, of course, some issues, will catch the last light of the moon before slipping back into the darkness to mainly attract our attention, you know. And now that we know that this is about to be overcome, and it looks like we will come out of the closet, and open ourselves for new possibilities. So I think this is quite interesting week ahead of us, and I hope you gained some information about the energy support for this week. Well, if you would like a personal reading, write an email. I think this is it. I'm looking forward to see you, looking forward to hear from you. Goodbye.